Hey everybody, it's time for another SEO, Google Ads update, and marketing extravaganza. So let's dive in. Alright, hey everybody and welcome. It is time for another update. We have a whole bunch of news to cover, so I'm going to go over that. We also have some good client questions and all that stuff too. So let's dive into the goodness. First off, it's 3 months prior to the holidays. So what does that mean? Well, it actually means that it's time for the holidays, right? Okay, so that actually means that it's time to think about your marketing strategy coming up for the holidays. So pretty interesting there. It is a time now where basically a lot of marketers are urging businesses to think about their marketing strategy right now. That is something that may be to your dismay, but it is actually time to do that right now. So if you don't have a plan, think about it. Diversification is very important. Next up, we have in the world of SEO, which we'll talk more about diversifying later on too, but in the world of SEO, there was a Google Core update that happened. This caused a lot of volatility over the last few days, a lot of interesting traffic reports as well going on. So Google did have a core update that went on, and that is something that Glenn Gabe had some interesting updates, and of course Rusty Brick reporting on that from Search Engine Roundtable. Something that we're kind of monitoring in our own clients as well. We don't see as much volatility generally from our clients just because of the kind of tried and true SEO strategies that we use, but we do notice kind of ups and downs that can happen. So whenever there is an update, but that has happened, so be aware of that. Next up is Google finally turned off Universal Analytics for most customers. This is kind of interesting where after 53 days, they finally turned off Universal Analytics. Now, of course, going to GA4, which is the new analytics standard, but that has finally happened where they've turned off old reporting. Granted, it's 53 days after when they said they would, but they did it, so there it is. We expect, so Google will completely phase out cookies in 2024. Lots of changes are happening now into the fall. That's definitely going to be happening. And we're advising clients to diversify ad strategies and invest in video too during this time as they weather the storm for new changes. The dust should settle, we predict, by the end of Q4, but definitely something to look out for. In other news, there was some interesting updates from YouTube in that it was actually noted that YouTube had actually been the most popular streaming platform. Very interesting right now. It had actually beaten Netflix as the most watched platform on TVs. Very big deal there. This is massive for YouTube, obviously. It's an amazing trend. The ease and convenience that YouTube has obviously played a large part in its success. And if you aren't creating videos or content, you definitely should. Contact Abundant, or honestly, just get a camera and start doing stuff, because that's definitely going to need to be a part of your strategy. We also recommend diversifying your ad strategy in the future using Facebook and other means. It's very important because Google's having a lot of volatility, as we mentioned, as well as changes from GA4 and from ad changes and that sort of thing during this time. A lot of AI changes are happening, so we actually are recommending clients to look into other options, even social media ads and even just social media updates. Improving their website, quite honestly, is the biggest thing. We have an interesting quote in not too long from a customer that talks just about that. Next up, Google Ads dropped direct phone support for client agencies. Many are outraged. This is a big deal. Google Ads is offering a paid customer support options. The cost is $50 per 40-minute or so phone call. It's a new pilot program. Pretty ridiculous. Now that's UK, so it's actually more expensive. It's $50 US essentially. And so basically people have tried this out mainly out of curiosity to see what it's even like. Many are saying horrible idea. They're very upset by it because they're essentially charging their customer base to give them support, which actually is pretty ridiculous. We as an agency have had our own issues with Google, obviously, because of support issues, and many agencies are outraged by their lack of support in the last few months. We've had to do support tickets and basically do other means, and it kind of makes our job even more important because we're the professionals that know how to answer questions. So a lot of times we'll be the ones that will answer these questions. And then if we absolutely have to, we might get a hold of Google. But lately that has been few and far between due to those issues. One person quoting straight garbage. Pretty extreme frustration there as understood by the public. Next up is Meta's Threads, a competitor to X. Seriously, Elon? Seriously? Has outraged many people. Testing a paid phone users has actually, a competitor to X, declined 70%. So Meta's Threads declined 70%. Pretty massive there. Users spend only 2.4 minutes per day on the app. After mass downloads initially, Threads app declines in a massive way, with 70% leaving or not using the platform anymore. This suggests that most were simply trying it, but did not see a significant reason to stay. So here's to our quote. Pretty interesting stuff. We had an interesting quote here that is just starting up to come forward, and what it is from Dave Carty from Longview Barbershop, local barber in Clintonville, Ohio. And he said that he no longer posts solely on Facebook anymore his shop updates. Too many customers would ask us about the school updates and weren't checking Facebook anymore. We decided to put it on our website, and we're getting a much better response now. So there you have it from one of our local businesses, basically saying, and then in other other talks, basically saying that social media is definitely on its way down significantly, where they'd actually had to reduce significantly their social media updates, and were switching to their website to get more information across to their customers. Social media, there have been various reports of decline as well. The most important thing we're seeing now, again with diversification, is doing website updates. Quite honestly, a lot of people are spending more money on their website, updating it, using blogs, using all kinds of exciting things that we also do amazing stuff with blogs and AI and some really cool stuff right now. So absolutely, if you need help with that, please contact Cow Abundant, and we would be able to help you. This year, we're winner of the Local Excellence Award 3 years in a row, 2023, 22, 21 from Upcity.com. We're the winner of Expertise named Top SEO Agency. We're also the winner of Social Apps HQ, Top 3 Facebook Marketing Agency. So very proud of the various awards that we have won. Now, I'll dive into a little bit more breaking news. All right, so now some breaking news. Google News has released a new core update, which we kind of covered a little bit before. See the full article in the show notes or the website of ours. Also, Google turned off the UA data for 53 days after it said it would. Find more detail in the show notes as well. Google listings doing review sweeps and removing some reviews. This is pretty interesting stuff. Basically, they are actually targeting certain reviews that are being marked for deletion. You can check your reviews to see if they're not shown up, but pretty interesting there. It depends on your account and some other details on why they might actually be removed, but interesting item there. Google says your domain will never make or break your SEO, so pretty fascinating. We kind of knew that already, but it was interesting to hear that from, I believe, Google's John Mueller, who basically said that an SEO URL like plumberscolumbus.com will not make or break your business, but obviously there are certain impacts to having a good domain name. But it's not essential that you have that. And you don't want a bad website that just goes on forever and ever, because that does not look good either. Pretty notable there, finally kind of saying something on that. Google says that AI content is rehashed from other existing websites, nothing created new. So this is basically saying AI is kind of copying information. It had that kind of relation conical reference that maybe it's just copied from other sources, so Google kind of sees it as nothing unique, which is kind of interesting. There are ways to create unique content in some ways from AI, but it really does require a lot of human intervention or updates. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It helps you to write for sure, but it definitely takes a lot of manual work as well. So kind of interesting how Google kind of sees AI, always following those updates. A important pro tip that we have is to get backlinks and blogging listing service, improve your existing content, increase rankings and backlinks, expand articles, update them, make relevant content relevant again by updating your existing content. You can update the date since you updated the piece as well. So go into your website with old content, check when it was posted, update a few things, make it current, and then change the posting date to more recent, and that actually helps SEO. Next up is digital ads and PPC news. We mentioned about the Google Ads call option, $50 per call for 40 minutes for Google Ads. The community is honestly outraged at this, as we are. Google Ads begins testing AI generative help for Google Ads, less support by humans. We knew this was coming. It's pretty unfortunate, but Google Ads is trying an AI program for support. It's great when it works. Maybe it's kind of frustrating, to be honest, but we knew this would happen. It's currently in beta. Some options of it help, but they're definitely going too hard too fast. They need to keep their existing support options, and quite frankly, it's really frustrating for a lot of the agency community right now because of the lack of support, and it's frustrating. It's really frustrating for us. This was an important topic for the first time ever. YouTube is on top of Netflix as the most watched streaming platform, hit an all-time high of 38.7% of TV usage. Very massive there, very interesting. Big deal. 9.2% of all TVs used, followed by Netflix at 8.5%. For the first time, we have some amazing news with YouTube coming up on top. Pretty incredible. Some of the other platforms there listed as well, but very interesting stuff. Big deals. Get on YouTube, folks. Get on YouTube. Next up is there's some news about Bing relaxing user verification. Google Ads has tightened their verification, so if you have not verified your business yet, you will want to do that. You'll want to go into Google Ads, verify your business. You might have to do CP 75 or 575. It's an IRS form that you have to use, basically saying you have an EIN, and then you might have to submit your driver's license, front and back, a clear picture. Sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't. It's kind of weird. Some that say you do, some you don't. But you will need to verify for sure. So do it for sure. We mentioned social media threads declined 70%, the app by Meta, aka Facebook. Users spending only 2.4% on the app per day. Pretty interesting there from Time Magazine, saying how social media is declining in some ways due to this. They're saying people just aren't being sticky to it. They're not staying. Twitter, more problems at former Twitter X, as it's called. The other day I said to a friend, I got off X recently. It did not sound good. I don't like that name personally, but scientists are leaving X for Mastodon and other platforms. This includes Mastodon, LinkedIn, followed by Instagram. Many cited the increase in fake accounts and hate speech as a reason for leaving. So pretty interesting. It's kind of becoming a very negative, what some might call toxic place online, unfortunately, and many people are leaving right now X to go to other platforms. So it's unfortunate, but change happens that way. So Twitter is officially dead, at least as we knew it. Now is X. Tweets are gone, now called reposts. The Verge reports that Twitter is now wiped out, and now it is called X officially. There was some damage caused in some of these updates that happened at X. Some of the servers caused problems from old posts that no longer could post media, and that was a big issue. Under the Twitter name, there is confusion, mass issues, and problems at X. So Big issues there. Last note on that from X again. X throttles traffic from links of Facebook properties, New York Times, and Blue Sky. Blue Sky, another growing competitor. Still difficult to get to. They have server outages and infrastructure problems, but you have to have an invite code to get into it. But it's still growing, I should say. Some sites unaffected, like Fox News, The Washington Post, YouTube, and Mastodon. This was by Washington Post, that were basically saying Twitter's or Elon's X is throttling traffic to websites he dislikes, according to the Washington Post, and more detail in our show notes and everything else there. All right, everyone. So this month, we always love to support a charity. And now we have a very important charity that is something very personal, I should say, to me. Recently, my kitty cat, Gwenny, was put down, laid to rest. She was very young, but she had a heart problem, and we had to make the horrible decision to put her down. And so this month, I am honored to promote the charity, which is Cozy Cat Cottage. Cozy Cat Cottage is a great organization that basically is an adoption center. It's a nonprofit. It's a no-kill organization that provides refuge, aid, and care for abandoned, injured, and abused pets and kittens in Central Ohio while finding them permanent, responsible, loving homes. It is a fantastic organization. We also recommend others like Cat Welfare, Humane Society, etc. But this month we are donating to Cozy Cat Cottage, and we urge you to join us in donating. Please, if you have anything that you can, donate to them. You can donate your time as well if you don't have money. But they are a wonderful, wonderful organization that helps these amazing pets. And then also on a personal note, if you have a pet, just give them a nice big hug, and because they deserve it. So thank you, everyone, and we hope that you will donate to that great organization. All right, so this month we had some great memes as well. Check out our newsletter for these fun memes. And I hope that was insightful, informative, and all that good stuff. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Take care of your pets. Be well. And, love those dogs and cats and your pets. All right, thank you. Bye.